It's just going back to the old incentives, and people will just do it. It'll drive the wrong behaviours.
I'm just seeing it from an engagement point of view. I'm looking at it from a user interface, whether that's the actual customer or whether that's the staff member. Seeing it as in, look, if you're going to have to be staring at that screen for whatever X time and time again, it's nice to be able to create something that's your world, that it's still the same information, it's still the things that need to be consistent, but just being able to do some of those simple things actually makes it more enjoyable.
I guess what we're talking, there's from what we're talking about, there's quite different views on what gamification is, and it's probably all of these things and none of them. So I'll make another prediction now that we'll have a show on this at some stage next year.
I think we will.
Yeah,
I think we will.
We're going to have to. There's two. I've been looking into this a little bit. The interesting one. We're looking at toying around with some product development around this as well. And the interesting thing I'm finding when I'm looking at gamification is it predominantly talks about engaging external customers, yet when we're talking about it here, we're talking about trying to engage internal employees. And that's why I've been looking at it from an org change point of view. And it's well beyond vouchers. It's actually starting to get into the behavioural motivators for people and, peer recognition and even being able to actually be recognised by an organisation as subject matter expertise. We're toying around with the idea of innovation or ideation in companies. How do you get someone from the front line to contribute their idea and actually get the senior management to recognise it? So these are the areas we're playing around with, and there's real diverse views on it. I actually ended up picking up, I'm sure it was one of the four of you who sent me that talk from Gabe Zickerman, a Google Tech talk from Gabe Zickerman.
Yeah.
I went and picked up his book. It's quite an interesting read, so I definitely do think we should get someone on here for a chat.
Absolutely. Let's try and find somebody.
The other thing that I'm really interested in for 2012, besides sustainability, Karen, because those workshop rounds that we did, I think people were really surprised and for the first time starting to realise, it's not this big governance thing. I think they really felt that they could do something. It's not something additional to what they do, that they can really make a personal impact on the result just by doing process the right way or something like that. So that's I think raising awareness of sustainability I think is going to get larger. But I saw an article very recently from Forbes, and they're calling 2012 the year of woman in tech. Woohoo! Yahoo! Yes. Woman in tech. I found it really interesting because things like, the emerging economies like Russia, China and India, there's some really smart women, and they've actually identified